podcast.
When you stop for a moment and, look at the world around you, not just the stars, but the air you breathe, the ground beneath your feet, the universe presents this deep, unavoidable question. Our source material today suggests the greatest proof of creation isn't hidden in some esoteric philosophy. It's right where you stand. So this deep dive is really asking, are you living in a finely tuned system built by a great designer? Or are you, simply the result of a spectacular cosmic accident?
That framing, it sets up our mission perfectly. We are diving into a foundational block of knowledge today. Surah Al-Baqarah, verses 21 through 29.
Right.
And these verses, they deliver this intense, multi-layered argument for the Creator that weaves together, cosmology, biology, and the sheer intellectual might of the text itself.
So we're tackling three massive themes here. The natural evidence of creation we see in our world, the legendary literary challenge the text issues to, all of mankind, and the metaphysics of our own life and death. And we're synthesizing insights from classical masters like Ibn Kathir and modern thinkers such as Maududi and Wahiduddin Khan to get a really comprehensive picture. We want to keep the discussion academic and inviting for every single listener.
Exactly. We want to understand what makes these arguments for divine creation so enduring, across centuries.
Let's begin with the starting point then, this universal address in verses 21 and 22. So verse 21 translates, "O people, worship your Lord who created you and those before you, that you may become righteous." And then verse 22 continues, "The one who made the earth a resting place, and the sky a canopy roof, and sent down water from the sky producing fruits for sustenance. Do not knowingly set up partners with the law."
What's immediately crucial here is the scope. The text doesn't address one specific tribe or nation or religious group. It uses the address Ya Ayyuhan Nas people.
A people.
A people.
Yeah.
As Ibn Kathir points out, this is a universal mandate. The call to servitude, or what the sources call bonds to the Creator, is linked directly to the fact of creation. That makes it applicable to all humanity across all time.
It's a very logical cause and effect argument, isn't it? If you acknowledge the Creator, you must acknowledge the obligation to that Creator.
It is.
But the evidence presented in verse 22, the earth being a resting place and the sky, a binas, a canopy or roof, that sounds, simple. Why should we view the sky as evidence of a creator and not just a natural product of gravity and early planetary geology?
That's a necessary, critical question. While every planet has some form of atmosphere, the Earth's is unique because it is finely tuned to sustain complex biological life.
Wow.
This concept of the sky being a bina, a constructed roof, or a building, it takes on this powerful significance when you view it through modern scientific lenses.
Unpack that a bit for us. What is the modern parallel to this protective canopy?
It's our atmosphere and magnetic field, acting together as an intricate, multi-layered shield. Without this protective canopy, life would be instantly sterilized.
Instantly.
Think about the lethal solar radiation and cosmic rays bombarding us constantly. The atmosphere just filters those out. Perfect.
All the space debris.
Exactly. Think about the thousands of tons of space debris that burn up every single year before they hit the surface. It's a calculated design that lets just enough sunlight and warmth in while maintaining the temperature, protecting us from vacuum, and, keeping all the deadly elements out.
It's a life support system designed with just impossible precision.
Precisely. And if any variable, like the thickness or the chemical composition of the atmosphere were even slightly off, the delicate balance needed for the hydrological cycle would collapse.
Right.
And verse 22 immediately ties the canopy to the water cycle, sent down water from the sky.
The cycle that sustains, everything.
Yes. The process of evaporation, condensation, precipitation, it's the engine of life. It sustains all vegetation and all our food chains. So the source material asks you to reflect. Is it intellectually honest to look at this self-regulating, life-sustaining system, this roof and the continuous freshwater supply, and conclude that it operates without a purposeful maker, a sane? The verse concludes, "Therefore, do not knowingly set up partners with the one responsible for this unparalleled system."
That's a powerful transition. It's one thing to look at the system outside of you, the cosmos, but then the source material pivots sharply to another form of evidence, the text in your hand. This brings us to the famous literary challenge presented in verses 23 and 24. Okay, so verses 23 and 24 read, "If you are in doubt concerning what we have sent down upon our servant, then produce a single chapter like it and call upon your helpers besides Allah, if you should be truthful. But if you do not do so, and you will never be able to, then fear the fire whose fuel is men and stones, prepared for the disbelievers."
This challenge, it's not just some poetic taunt. It was issued in a very specific historical and intellectual context.
Right.
The people receiving this text were the pre-Islamic Arabs who lived and breathed poetry and rhetoric. I mean, these were the undisputed masters of eloquence, fasaha, and linguistic artistry balagha. Their entire cultural identity revolved around the flawless use of language.
So this wasn't challenging some illiterate population. This was challenging the linguistic elite at their own game. And the sources confirm the response was silence, right?
Indeed. As Maududi emphasizes in his commentary, Tafhim ul-Quran, this challenge remains open and completely unmatched 14 centuries later. But to truly grasp the miracle, we have to look beyond just the rhythm or the aesthetic beauty.
I think a lot of people assume the miracle is purely in the sound and structure.
And that's a crucial distinction. The challenge is deeper, the power lies less in the sheer literary flow and more in its nizam, its consistent, unified organizational structure, and, most importantly, its unwavering message. Think about human speech, even the work of a single brilliant author. If you followed that person for 2 decades, writing on diverse topics, war, peace, law, metaphysics, their personal biases, emotional states, their evolving knowledge, it would inevitably leak in. You'd get contradictions, style shifts, intellectual inconsistencies.
Of course, that's the hallmark of human growth. Our views change, we evolve.
But the coherence of this text, maintaining a single unified voice and mission over 23 years of, well, political, personal, and social turmoil, it suggests it cannot be a human endeavor. It's a challenge of content, of systemic coherence, and profound predictive knowledge, all wrapped in this unmatched linguistic perfection. The text itself serves as its own proof.
That sets an impossible standard for any human author. Now, having moved from the massive scale of the cosmos and the systemic scale of the language, the text dramatically zooms in. It focuses on something seemingly trivial, something minute. This transition is incredibly effective, and it brings us to verse 26. Verse 26 states, "Indeed, Allah is not ashamed to present an example of a mosquito or what is smaller than it."
And this verse, according to sources like Jalalain and Ibn Abbas, was revealed because the disbelievers were specifically objecting to this.
They were complaining.
They were saying, why does this mighty scripture mention such lowly things like a fly or a spider? And the response is profound. God's power, what we call quadra, is equally evident in the small as it is in the large.
Okay, let's connect this to modern microbiology. The mosquito, Natira, is usually just viewed as a nuisance. But what did the sources reveal about its hidden complexity that makes it such a powerful example of quadra?
Well, the mosquito is not a simple speck of dust. It's a micro-machine. While it seems trivial on the outside, our sources highlight stunning anatomical details packed into its minute structure.
Like what?
It possesses over 100 compound eyes for navigation, 3 separate hearts, and an incredibly complex blood-sucking system. This system involves a multi-tool probe that releases chemical anticoagulants and precision-piercing instruments to ensure a smooth, undetected feed.
3 hearts and a chemical delivery system. That is staggering engineering for something the size of a pinhead. So what is the theological punchline of showing this kind of complexity in something so tiny?
The takeaway is that divine design and perfection, they don't scale down or simplify with size. Modern microbiology confirms that a single cell, or a mosquito, is as complete and perfect in its design as a star or a galaxy. The creator, the one with quadra-flawless, comprehensive capability, spared no detail. If you can design a perfect, self-operating microscopic watch, you have the capacity to design a galaxy. The complexity in the particle is the same complexity evident in the cosmos.
That's a brilliant way to unify the argument. It shows that design is inescapable no matter where you look. And this leads us to the final existential question posed in verse 28 concerning the fundamental cycle of existence itself. So verse 28 asks, how can you disbelieve in Allah when you are dead, lifeless, and He gave you life? Then He will cause you to die, then He will bring you back to life, and then to Him you will be returned.
This sequence, non-existence, life, death, resurrection, is it's the blueprint for the human condition. To understand the powerful logic here, we have to define that crucial first state. What does you are dead mean in this context?
Is it just being unborn or something deeper than that?
Scholar Wahiduddin Kant explains that dead lifeless here refers to absolute non-existence, Adam. The text emphasizes that you, the conscious human being, you came into existence from nothingness. Your consciousness, your cells, your physical matter. It was assembled and animated from inert, basic elements.
So the most difficult hurdle creation from absolute nothing has already been cleared.
Precisely. And that leads to the irresistible logical argument for resurrection. If the creator achieved the most difficult step, bringing a complex entity like you from absolute non-existence, then the subsequent steps are conceptually simpler.
It's easier the second time.
Right. Bringing you back to life after a temporary physical death, what we call the recycling of life, is merely a repetition of an already demonstrated capability.
That fundamentally shifts the burden of proof.
Yeah.
The question becomes, why would you doubt the ability of the one who already achieved the impossible, bringing you from nothing? It reframes resurrection not as a miracle, but as a logical inevitability based on the established power of the Creator.
Exactly. And the passage concludes by widening the view once more, linking the cycle of life back to the grand scale of the cosmos in verse 29, which reads, "It is he who created for you all of that which is on the earth. Then he directed himself toward the heaven and made them 7 heavens, samawat, and he is knower of all things."
So the earth and everything on it is established for us, and then the attention tunes to structuring the cosmos with these sabah samawat, the 7 heavens. What are the key interpretations of that term, 7 heavens?
This is a great point where the scholars share some nuance. The term sabah samawat carries dual scholarly interpretations. Classical commentators, looking through the lens of the science at the time, often saw it as the 7 distinct functional layers of the Earth's atmosphere.
The troposphere, stratosphere, and all that.
Exactly, which, as we discussed, have specific protective functions.
And the other view.
The second, more modern cosmological interpretation, which is favored by thinkers like Wahiduddin Khan, sees it as the vast, structured, and organized divisions of the cosmos itself, emphasizing the structure of the universe way beyond our immediate sky.
Mm-hmm.
But in either case, whether we're talking microlayers or macro divisions, the number 7 implies perfection, completeness, and structure. It just underscores the comprehensive nature of the Creator's knowledge and power over everything.
This entire passage, 21 through 29, it's one seamless, unified argument. It moves from the massive protective sky to the intricate mosquito, proving divine power, and then uses that power to answer the ultimate metaphysical question. Where did we come from, and where are we going?
It's an intellectual invitation. The text is not inviting blind imitation. It demands profound contemplation and reflection, Gora Fikr. When you recognize that your breath, the food systems, and the entire cosmic shelter are deliberate favors, they cease to be random accidents.
And when that foundation shifts from accident to design, the act of servitude of worship, it transforms, doesn't it?
It does. Servitude, Bondi, is not framed as a burden or some punitive chore. It's the natural consequence of finding peace and purpose by connecting with the intelligent creator of all these marvelous integrated systems. It's about fulfilling your intended role within the design.
This has been a true deep dive into the evidence for creation and the unique nature of this text. We encourage you, the listener, to continue exploring the reality of your life and these incredible cosmic and microbiological hints presented in the source material.
And we love hearing your thoughts and questions regarding creation, the scientific hints, or the Quranic challenge. You can find us in content designed to help you become quickly and thoroughly well-informed at Hidayah Podcast.
So we established today that the Creator brought us from absolute non-existence and can, logically, bring us back again. But this leaves us with a provocative thought. If we were created from nothing, and if everything on Earth was created for us, what is the purpose of this incredibly complex human existence?
That is precisely the question that we will address next time. Our next deep dive will cover the creation of Adam and the profound questions posed by the angels about appointing a vice-suzerain on Earth. Join us as we look into the human purpose established just after these foundational verses.
If this episode helped you understand the Quran better, please like the video, share it with others, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to Al-Hidayah Podcast for more thoughtful and meaningful discussions.